Welcome to today's design with Pam. We're going to be creating this design in Figma. It's a simple landing page for a clay studio, but it's kind of different, it's unique, it has its own concept. We're not doing the regular where you have image on the right side, text on the other side. We're doing something unique, something creative, right? All right, so let's get right into it. Let's select our frame here. From this toolbar, just select frame, or you can hit the F key on your keyboard to activate the frame panel here and then choose desktop. Let's title this. I'm going to name it Clay Studio Design. What I'm going to do is activate my grid lines. I'm going to choose my web layout grid line here. So let me detach the style so you can see what the settings I used. You can just copy it. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to type Clay Studio. I'm going to click on T on my keyboard and type Clay Studio. So this is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to type this Clay Studio here. So let's assume Clay Studio is the name of the brand or of the company, right? So we're going to make the font to be 32. I'm using this font here. I'm making it 32 and I'm going to make it bold. So I want it to achieve this look of as if it's a logo, right? So I'm going to make the letter spacing to be -8. Let's make it I think -8 is okay. -8 is great. So the next thing we're going to do is to create this logo that you're seeing here, this CS logo you're seeing here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to select the text here, click on my Option or Alt key, and I'm going to duplicate it by dragging it out. I'm holding on to my Option key while I drag it out. Then I'm going to type CX, right? So this CX, now what I'm going to do to it is, because I want to kind of work on it, I'm going to work on this text here. I'm going to right click on my mouse and I'm going to flatten this. Then you can either maybe drag this to hold on to your shift button and then drag it. I'm trying to create more like, let's say, a somewhat logo, something that looks like logo. All right, okay, let's drag it out the more. I'm holding on to my shift button while I do this, but remember I selected the both edges, right, while I drag it. All right, I think this is fine. And I'm going to leave it here. This is fine. Right, so I'm going to click on L on my keyboard to draw a line. Before I draw the line, I am going to hold on to my shift button and then create a line, drag the line. So this is the color I'm going to be using for the line. This color here, I'm going to deactivate it. So the style guide. So the style, so you can copy the color code here. All right, so I'm going to duplicate it and create a second line. Remember, you're holding on to your shift key. So I'm going to select the first line and also click on shift to select the second line, and then I'm going to give it the spacing between them to be 48. Then I'm going to add an auto layout to it by clicking Shift A on my keyboard. So I'm going to find a way to select my text from this section here and then try to center it. You can see Figma is that intelligent. Once it's at the center, you just make use of these red lines that are giving you direction or cue or hints as to the position of your items or your elements on the board. Okay, so far so good. We've created this. So let's create this other navigation text here, gallery, artisans, and our story. I'll click on T our type gallery. But I'm going to make it 20. Okay, 20 is great. I'm going to duplicate it by holding the Option key. What do we have here again? Artisans and our story. Alright, so I'm going to select this first one, hold on to Shift button, select the second one, select the third one, and click on Shift A to create an auto layout. And I'm going to chuck it into my design on. I want to put it here. But however, it's reacting this way and I don't want it to react this way. I'm going to come to this absolute position here on the right hand side where my mouse is. Then I'm going to click it and it enables me or allows me to position it well. Then I'm going to go to this alignment section and click on align horizontal axis. I just want it to be in the middle. Okay, so what else do we have? This call to action button. I'm going to click on T on my keyboard and I'm going to type shop now. Right, so I'm going to click on Shift A to create an auto layout. I'll drag it to this plate. Also click on the absolute position. I'm going to drag it to this section here. The line is same height with this. I'm going to keep it to 48. The height is 48, and the horizontal padding, let's give it a 16, while the vertical padding, let's give it an 8. Then I'm going to still drag it here. Then I'm going to go ahead and enable a fill color. I'm going to choose the fill color that I already have here. Remember, I use this black here. Then I'm going to go ahead to hold on to Command or Control on my keyboard and select the text inside this box. And I'm going to change the color to white. Now we have the call to action button there. So the next item we're going to create now is this images you're seeing here. Let's remove the layout grid so we can see what we've done so far. So far so good. This is what we have. All right, so before we begin, I'm also going to change the color of this our frame. I'm going to change it to this color. This is the color I'm using. You can copy the color code F1, F4, FB. So we've done that. The first rectangle, which is this one, I'm just going to click on R on my keyboard and I'm going to draw a shape. So I'm giving it a width of 280. Let's give it a width of 292. And I'm going to give it a height of 336. I think that's okay. Remember, I'm pushing it out. Let me put on my grid line so I can see what I'm doing. I'm pushing it out and I'm making sure that it aligns to this second column here, this layout, this grid line here, this column you're looking at here. So I'm making sure it aligns on here. Can see the red line is already telling me, oh yes, your design is aligned. I'm going to duplicate it by holding my Option key. And I'm going to create a second rectangle. The second rectangle, I'm also giving it a width of 292 and I'm leaving it the height at 336. I want it to occupy this grid starting from here. You can see it's fixed right in. So this is the first one, this second one. So I want this first. This one is on top of this one. So I'm going to find an image. I'll go to our plugin, go to pixels and select clay. Type clay. Remember, always use a very good image. Image says a lot about our design. You can take as much time as you can to find a perfect image. Perfect image says a lot about your designs. Remember to use images that are of kind of the same photography style, so that it's not looking as if they're two different kind of things or different kind of images, right? So I'm going to find another image. Remember, I'm not going to pay so much attention in choosing this image today. I'm going to choose any one, but you can see the one I already have. So I'm going to select this one. I'm going to select this one, but because the color is like this, it's not really aligning to this one. I just want something that has some retro feel, so I'm going to go to saturation. I'm going to desaturate it, right? So if I close my grid, let me add this as a style so that I can easily close the eye, close this. Right, so I can easily shut the eyes of this so you can see where. All right, so you can see it's starting to come together. Right, so this is on top of this. So the third image we have here, I'm giving it a width of 292 and the height I'm leaving it at 242. Right, so let's find an image that suits it, something colorful that has a bit of color. And an image, I'm just going to select any image now, but remember to always find a perfect image for your designs. Right, let's use this guy here. So for the third image, we're going to click on R and create a rectangle shape here. I'm just going to, let's give this rectangle a width of 2, and let's give it more width, 288. Let's give it a height of 584. I think this one is okay. So from the top, I want the spacing to be 54. 54 is okay. So I want to give the spacing between the two rectangles to be 108. Alright, so this space I'm leaving here is just to accommodate some of the stairs that we have here. So let's find another image. All right, I think we're great. We're good to go now. This is what we have so far. Let me zoom it in so you can see. All right, so you can go ahead to add some of these images that we have here. However, let me duplicate this section and add it to the bottom here. I'm going to align this to the bottom. So to align it to the bottom, I'm going to click on this align bottom here. All right, so let's create this items that we have beneath here. All right, so no, we didn't follow our grid lines. I'm bringing it here on our grid line here. Okay, let me center align it. I'm going to remove this call to action. I'm going to remove this other one, and I'm going to add, this is supposed to be like for our socials, Facebook, Behance, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can just create, I'm going to create it now. So what I did here was to click on O on my keyboard and then create the shape. Right, I added some stroke here. Just click to add some stroke here. Then I closed out the fill color, and then I click on T on my keyboard and I typed F, and I chucked it into the shape, selected the both of them, created a group, and I changed this color to black. So I'm going to go and paste it on the design we're making. So remember how to do that. So I'm going to duplicate this by holding my option key. Then I'm going to type B in this. So So I'm going to try to reduce the text here. I'm just working on this letter spacing so it could fit into the box we have here. Then I'm going to also do that. Then I'm going to select the first one, select the second one, select the third one, and then click on Shift A to create an auto layout. So I'm also going to click on this absolute position, just so I can place it anywhere I want in this frame. And I'm going to center align it. You can go ahead and add the text that we have here, this text here. Add this text here, make use of a font size, and let me see, you can also add this text here. I want to see how you can do it. I have other videos where I created buttons on some design. You can watch those other videos and let me know what you come up with. So the only thing left here is to add this text here, add this other text, add this text, and add this text and this icon here. Remember to use hero icon. There's a plugin called hero icon. Use it to get icons. Done with your design, you can send it to me on my Instagram so I can make review and make comments for you where necessary. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. This is me, my name is Pamela. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I am always available to help you navigate your UI design challenges. All right, so see you next video. Thank you.